Hello, welcome.
And I'm Phil D. And I think Scott is underwater.
Great. That's perfect. All right, guys, welcome back to the show. Today we're talking about Underwater. Since this is a relatively newer film, we are going to go ahead and put the spoiler warnings right here. Because we are going to spoil the shit out of it.
Yeah.
And if you want to see this movie, which I highly recommend, because it is damn good, shut the video off or shut off the podcast, pause it, and then go watch it, and then come back.
And then listen.
And then listen.
Yeah.
Okay, so there you go. There's your warning. Get out while you can. Anyways, so, Underwater. Oh, wait. One more thing that we have to mention. Unfortunately, today, one of the greats has passed. Sean Connery. What was it? 1930 to 2020.
Yeah, man. He's 90 years old.
90 years old.
Totally.
And one of the greats, man.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, James Bond, The Rock. And
Juan Sanchez Villalobos Ramirez.
Yes. Yeah. Highlander.
Mm-hmm.
And League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Oh, yeah. We forgot about the best.
The best one. That's the best one. Fight me.
Yeah. Sean Connery would if he was still alive.
He probably would.
He would beat that ass. That's what he'd do.
give me a little smack.
Give you a little smack.
Sometimes you just gotta give him a little smack. Anyways, no, we're having fun, but this is really sad because again, it would have been nice to see him one more time.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
so.
I've always been a Connery fan. Nobody else is like him, man.
Not at all.
Mm-mm.
No, especially nowadays.
He was always my favorite Bond until Daniel Craig came around.
Oh yeah, I got you. I'm a little more of a Pierce Brosnan guy myself.
I feel you. Pierce is a lot smoother, but
Pierce
I feel
is
like
a smooth cat.
Both of the two of them would, they'll punch you in the mouth. It's
Absolutely,
exactly what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. So, anyways, moving on. So, Underwater, directed by William Eubank? William Eubank, released this year, 2020, starring Kristen Stewart and T.J. Miller and Jessica Henwick. Colleen Wing from that terrible Iron Fist show.
And the French guy, Lucien. It's the dude from The Messenger and all that stuff. What's that guy's name? Vincent Cassel. Yeah, totally. Yeah, I like that guy a lot.
Yeah. And a couple other people, but
that's basically it.
They're all cannon fodder at this point. Yeah. So, Philip, what had happened?
Oh, this one's real easy. Dumbasses mined at the bottom of the seafloor and woke up Cthulhu. That's it.
And it is Cthulhu. It is confirmed by the director. This is absolutely Cthulhu. And honestly, one of the better visual representations of that.
I mean, for this not blatantly being, a Lovecraft story. I mean, another way to explain this movie, it actually, the title is just missing words. That's all it is, right? Because it should be called Into the Mouth of Madness Underwater.
Yeah.
That's
pretty much, yeah.
They just left that first part off. It's implied.
Right? Yeah.
I think that this is... dude, it is the best representation of Cthulhu in film.
And just like Lovecraftian horror.
Yeah.
At this point.
With it only... It does it so subtly, though, throughout most of the movie.
Yeah, throughout most of it, throughout the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
I will say that my only criticism here, and this is just kind of in general with the whole Lovecraft galactic horror,
cosmic horror
kind of stuff. I don't know how I feel about the fact that you actually see the creatures. I mean, it would be kind of hard to like up the stakes. But I do feel like the whole like it's not really the kind of horror that I really get into too much. It is scary, but it's more jump scares. So it is more startling than it is disturbing.
Well, I think the disturbing portion is context.
Right.
It's not so much what's exactly happening. It's that all this is on the bottom of the sea, and you have no fucking control over anything.
You're under the sea. Under the sea.
Da, 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 da. Yeah, it's that terror of the entire ocean on top of you. So the terror part is more of just the physical uncomfortable nature.
Well,
of
and the fact that everybody's going mad. So I think that was where a lot of the subtlety lied in this movie.
Totally.
is within the characters and how they're processing the situation, because it doesn't really seem like Kristen Stewart's character is she's probably processing the situation a lot better than any of the other characters.
Everybody else is very one-dimensional with the way they're looking at things. I think Kristen Stewart, well, it's like at the beginning of it she kind of sets herself up with the whole being a cynic thing. Exactly. And I think that obviously shows throughout the movie.
Absolutely.
There's a funny one that you always see in any kind of Cthulhu, specifically mythos, which is like the captain's character, Lucian.
Yeah,
he's the guy that doesn't notice how fucked up everything is, and just is always we have to drive forward, we have to keep going. Absolutely. Stay to the plan, make sure we're blind to all the problems that are actually happening.
Willfully ignorant to some degree.
Absolutely.
Which is really interesting, because it seems like he probably knows more about what's going on than really anybody else. Because when she goes to that older, because they're like researchers,
mining, right?
And they're doing like some kind of underwater drilling.
Yeah,
and it's this huge like underwater station. And there seems to be a couple of stations that aren't necessarily used anymore, like they're older ones. And it seemed like he was on those stations before.
I think that was the first one.
Yeah, because when she finally gets to that station at some point in the movie, and she opens up, she's going through a locker, and it ends up being his. And he has this, the whole like traditional conspiracy board with like a bunch of pins and strings and stuff, and it's got an actual like drawing of Cthulhu, and there's a pentagram, and it's like, okay, well, and you never find out how much he actually knew. And it really does seem like he knew more than maybe he was letting on. And maybe even the company they're working for knew more, because at the end they go through all these like headlines where it's obvious that the company is covering up what happened. Yeah,
and those parts of it. I'll address this first, and then we'll go into it. Those parts of it make me think of Dead Space.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because Dead Space's whole thing is like, no, we're mining on a weird planet. Oh, but we found a weird relic. Fucking whatever. We'll keep mining.
Yeah.
It seems like it might be some similar thing. They just didn't try to go too much into the backstory of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, this movie ultimately, and one of the more impressive parts of it that I really appreciate, is it doesn't really focus much of any time on like either the backstory of the characters or what they're actually doing down there. It literally just hits the ground running.
Yeah,
like immediately you get like a little bit of setup for Kristen Stewart's character. What was her name? Nora.
Yeah.
Nora. You get a little bit of setup with her, just like brushing your teeth, seemed like talking about like, you lose time underwater or whatever, when you're in the dark this long, blah, 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 monologue, and then boom, shit's getting exploded.
And somebody should have put their shoes on.
Yeah, that was really funny. She had the shoes right there.
She almost put them on.
All she had to do was slip them right the fuck on.
Should have done that.
Yeah.
She regrets that real quick.
I bet she does.
So you were telling me some shit about some fake feet? What?
Yeah. So okay, so obviously she's supposed to be barefoot in this scene, and Kristen Stewart was like totally down. And she's like, "Cool, you need me to be barefoot? I'll be barefoot. I'll be barefoot all day." You know, but of course the filmmakers, the crew was concerned that she might, cut her feet because this is a pretty high impact scene. I mean, there's a lot of explosions and water and
metal grates on the floor.
Yeah, exactly. That they were concerned that she would potentially hurt herself. So what they did is they made her some fake feet. So technically she did have shoes on.
They're like those toe shoes.
Yeah, they're like toe shoes, and they just painted them pink.
Painted them like feet.
Yeah. Right.
That'd be really creepy if you had toe shoes that looked like feet.
That would be awesome, I think is what you mean. I think I'm going to look for some toe shoes.
Do they sell Hobbit toe shoes? Can you get that?
Oh, man. If
the furry
only.
top and everything?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'd do it.
Yeah. Dude, I'd wear those all the time.
Those are just my shoes. I don't know what you're talking about.
I got big, hairy Hobbit feet. What do you think?
Oh, man. That's a funny one right there.
Yeah.
That's a...
So something happens.
Yeah.
And the station just starts imploding.
Like
essentially.
Immediately.
And
the movie doesn't even fucking let you figure out anything. It's like, oh, she's brushing her teeth. Wait, this seems weird. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's that,
Yeah. And it just it builds on its tension like really, really well.
But it sets the tone.
Absolutely.
And then sticks with the tone.
Oh yeah, shit's about to get fucked.
So what you think of T.J. Miller in this one, man?
I really liked him.
Yeah.
Actually, he was a joy to have around, and I was sad when he eventually died.
Yeah.
Look, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I can't say that I'm the hugest T.J. Miller fan. I've definitely seen him in stuff that I like, and I totally don't just outright hate him.
Yeah.
But I've never been able to really and not that he's not funny, and he is very funny in this one. This is actually probably the funniest I think he's ever actually been.
Consistently for this.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it might be just because he's playing off of the tension of the situation so well.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because when he's around a bunch of other funny people, you're like, yeah, he's just kind of a jackass. I mean, he's funny, but
yeah,
he's still a jackass.
Jackasses can be funny, Philip.
I think he would even agree. He's like, yeah, I am a fucking jackass.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure T.J. Miller got in trouble. What the fuck did he do? He did some dumbass shit like he was on a subway train and started talking about explosives or some shit like that, like to be funny, and got fucking like in some deep shit like that.
'Cause you don't
kind of
do that
guy.
shit.
He's that kind of guy. Yeah. So
okay. Yeah, but no, throughout this movie, he really is throughout the whole film, and until he dies. The only point of levity,
there's nothing else,
and it really would have been, I wouldn't say a slog, but kind of hard to go through, without that little bit of humor, comic relief, kind of thrown in, because the situations just get worse and worse and worse. I mean, they are literally in a tight spot.
Everybody's having a real bad day.
Absolutely. And he even says it at some point. He's like, can one good thing happen? Just once.
I like that when they're in the mission room and he's telling them about the mission. He's like, okay, yeah, we're gonna walk across the bottom of the seafloor in pitch black darkness where no one's ever been before, and we're gonna wear suits with minimum oxygen. Does that sound good for everybody? Yeah. Everybody good with that plan?
Everybody good with that? Yeah. I like his little bunny.
Oh yeah,
that's cute and adorable, and it kind of humanizes him to some degree.
Yeah.
But apparently that was going to be an actual rabbit.
Yeah.
And obviously for obvious reasons why you don't want to use animals in movies.
Don't work with children or animals.
And so eventually they just changed it to be just a little plushy little bunny plushie they call Little Paul.
Little Paul.
Little Paul.
But he still treats it like it's a living rabbit.
Because they never told him that it wasn't going to eventually be. He thought that was just a stand-in, and that they were gonna digitally, animate a rabbit. Because so he keeps treating it like it's a living rabbit.
I want to know what T.J. Miller saw in his head about this movie. What he was thinking this film was going to look like. I'm sure he walked into the preview. He's like, "Well, that's not fucking right."
Yeah.
Hold on, I thought it was supposed to have a
Where's
digital
Little Paul?
bunny.
Yeah, where's my digital bunny?
Yeah,
fucking great.
Once he's gone, the movie feels like it's in complete desperation.
It puts a lot of weight on the proceedings once he's gone.
As soon as he is, as his little jokes and fucking with people and all that stuff is gone, you're just like, I don't know if anybody's gonna make it now.
Yeah, right.
Morale defeated.
Right.
Yeah. So the other characters that we got the anime nerd guy.
Anime nerd.
Awesome.
He's awesome. What is his name?
I've seen him in something else too, but I really can't place him. But that dude.
What is it? Mom.
Oh damn, he has a name that's hard to pronounce. Mamoudou Athie, I guess.
I've seen him in other stuff.
I have too. I just can't think of what else.
I really liked him. And that line about him being in just watching a lot of anime, like, really spoke to me.
Yeah, because I mean, they were talking about the core, melting down and everything, and he's like, "Oh, I don't know. I mean, it's a massive heat exchange, and then you'll have like an air pocket, and I don't know. I watch a bunch of anime. I don't.
Yeah. Freaking great.
Yeah.
Love him.
He sacrifices himself for Nora.
Oh yeah, absolutely, because they were looking for functional deep diving suits, which, by the way, little segue, those suits look amazing. Dude, like, I really like the design.
It's probably a third of the reason I love this movie is just because of those diving suits.
Yeah.
And then I like the upgrade suit that she gets too. That's like the older one, know. It totally gives her that Samus vibe, you know. Very a suit acquired, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
But she I think the suits,
this one turns into a ball.
Yeah, exactly. The fucking if only she could do that water jump, man.
Yeah.
That would be useful.
She needs a double jump.
Yeah. And a dash.
And some missiles. Pretty much everything that Samus has, she needs it.
You're just fucking up. Just go get Samus's gear.
Right.
It's in Norfair. Just go over there. No, the suits, though, to me, they look like somewhere in between Samus and anybody from Gears of War.
Yeah. I would even say that there's a little bit of BioShock in there.
Little bit of Big Daddy in it.
Big Daddy,
That's right. Yeah, they got some very cool, and I mean, that's also looking a little bit like the old school Alien.
Oh yeah, absolutely, dude. The first shot of this.
Hey, y'all remember Alien?
Yeah, I was just like, look, we've seen Alien 2. We get it.
Like, really,
because it's that whole like quiet long hallway with the camera moving real slow, kind of panning across the facility. Yeah, it's like, yeah.
Is this movie like the evil version of The Abyss?
James Cameron's The Abyss?
Yes, James Cameron's The Abyss. That's what I mean.
I think it is. Yeah, because I mean, it's not. These aren't nice water pod aliens. Like, these are vicious deep sea creatures,
It's the bad
that
shit.
Have been lost to time, essentially.
Oh, yeah, ancient ones that have awoken because
The
you keep
old
pounding on the ground.
Yeah, that's what it is. They're just like, dude, just shut up. We're trying to sleep
up. Yeah, I love okay, so they don't full fat show you Cthulhu until almost the end of the movie.
Very, very end, yeah.
And throughout most of the film, you think that the only threat are these little creatures.
Yeah. There's one that's like a more, I guess, traditional eldritch horror type thing. It's like a
Man, it looks like some Dagon shit.
Yeah,
If you know anything about some Lovecraft, it's the water type creatures from the Dagon type mythos.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay?
Yeah.
Long, lanky, kind of fin-like hands, but big claws, like that kind of thing. You know. I love their mouths.
Oh, their mouths are awesome.
Big, stretchy, like Python style.
Yeah,
but
for real.
it almost has that like predator opening thing. Like it's a real cool look.
I do like the design. I love it
yeah.
when one of them ends up eating Nora.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
What I particularly like is she has the flare gun to try to shoot it, but she's wedging her hand. So imagine a person having a big old monster condom put over the top of them, right? So it's being pulled down. Well, she's about so she's about to her elbow down, and she starts wedging her hand with the flare gun up in between the suit and the mouth, and she gets it in front of the face of the suit where you can see the flare gun, and then she pulls that trigger and it blows the fucking back out of the monster.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. That was super. That was a good tense scene with a little hell yeah ending.
Well, and then it gets worse.
Yeah.
Because all of a sudden, they're sneaking through an area where all of these lanky, Dagonites are all underneath. They're all hanging on the ceiling of a corridor. Yeah. And they're going through this corridor very quietly.
And it's a red corridor.
It's a red corridor. You guys should have known better.
Yeah.
So they go in trying to sneak past all these things, and their arms are all hanging down, and so when she gets caught, and then she gets, monster condomed.
Yeah.
And then blows that thing up. She wakes all the rest of them up.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And they all start coming alive on the ceiling and looking at her and all this. Mm-hmm. And then you hear this noise. And as soon as that noise happens, every one of them shuts up. Yeah. They all get that look like, oh, no.
Uh-oh. Daddy's up.
And the entire ceiling moves out of the way, and you realize that was a very small portion of maybe an arm or something.
Yeah.
I mean, this might have been like
and
a finger.
These creatures are literally living inside of this other creature.
Which is Cthulhu. So Cthulhu just has a shit ton of these in his pores. It's like those weird frogs.
Yeah.
That have their young in the back.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's cool as hell. What's that called when you're afraid? I think it's tryptophobia, when you're afraid of stuff with holes in it.
Really?
Yeah, people can't look at like the frogs with the holes, and they can't look at like spongy materials and stuff like that.
Never heard of that.
Yeah, that's a weird one.
I mean, I guess if I'm looking at a giant arm with,
that's gonna freak you out.
Hellish beasts inside of it, yeah, I'd be fucking terrified as well.
Tryptophobia is not specifically that, but
yeah.
But I love the whole parasite thing.
Absolutely.
The other two people on this journey, I actually don't really have a whole lot for. There's the cute girl, and then there's the dingus that dates her that is in just a bad position.
It's what is her name? Jessica Henwick.
Okay.
From the Marvel Netflix show.
Iron Fist.
She's Calling Wing.
Yeah,
probably
absolutely.
Easily the best part of that entire show.
Cool.
And she's really great in this. She is flipping out more than anybody else. The fact that people are dying around her is really getting under her skin. Like, it's.
But she holds it together to the end.
Right up until the end. There's one part where they obviously Nora and her get separated, and she's dragging the dude. And I was 100% sure that she was just dragging a dead body. I was like, she has cracked. She doesn't even realize that he's dead or something, but he's not. He's alive. He actually survives. These two survive.
I think they could have leaned into that. That would have been cool.
That would have been interesting.
I will say I like the subtlety with all of them's madness.
Yeah.
You can tell that all of them are a little crazy.
Right.
So let's hypothesize here.
Okay. We're about to get hyperbolic. We're speculations, guys.
Shift gears there. So, this captain at some point mentions his daughter. And because Kristen Stewart, Nora, when she finds him, he's alone and he's trying to make radio contact, and she's like, why didn't you go? You have a daughter.
Yeah.
And he was like, and he didn't even like. He kind of brushed it off. He just brushed it off. And in that moment, you think that he's just like, well, I'm doing the right thing. I have to be here, right?
Yeah.
And then once you find out from the locker with his stuff, and you see the Cthulhu conspiracy map, right?
Absolutely. Well,
you find a card.
Well, before that, Colleen Wing.
Oh yes, yeah.
Is asking them, hey, do you guys, she's trying to calm her nerves, essentially. That's basically what she's doing. She's just trying to get the ideas that she has in her head, out, and she's asking both of them, do you have family? You guys married, blah, blah, blah. Do you have kids? And he says, I have a kid, she's 14. And then Nora says, no, she'd have to be about my age by now.
And he says, well, yeah, what am I thinking? Yeah, she's got to be. Never mind.
Yeah. And at first, you kind of brush it off as just like going back to that whole, people lose track of time. Where they're at.
Yeah.
So I mean, you kind of go along with that. There's they set up your suspension of disbelief really well in this movie.
They do.
Yeah.
So you think maybe his daughter died, and there was a very intentional Cthulhu situation.
Like with her daughter? Like with his daughter?
I mean, that's a common theme with most Lovecraftian things, that people that are fucking with these elder gods have a reason to do so.
Right.
You call forth the elder gods because you want them to do something for you, right? Did you ever watch that movie Necronomicon? That's a bunch of shorts. It's a bunch of short films.
No, I haven't seen that one.
Okay,
yet.
One of the first one. It's like from mid '90s maybe. It's cheesy as shit, but I like it.
Yeah.
But one of the first stories is about a man that's wife dies, and so he gives her to the sea, and then the sea brings her back.
I see.
You know.
So maybe you think that he was actually seeking.
The Eldritch
gods
to potentially bring her back, with him having that much shit on his wall that was like, because I mean there's pentagrams, there's obviously, I mean I'm pretty sure this is actually a Lovecraft an H.P. Lovecraft sketch that was on the wall.
Absolutely.
The little Cthulhu sitting on the block. Because I'm fairly certain that
I've seen that before. That's unmistakable. Yeah, absolutely.
If it's not actually a Lovecraft sketch, then that is a very old Lovecraft drawing from someone who was either working with him or doing books a long time ago.
Right.
Because that's an iconic image. It's
absolutely.
not just, so it makes me think he very intentionally was seeking out this kind of thing.
I see. Do you think it was just him, or do you think that the corporation was behind it as well?
Well,
because why were they drilling?
Why were they drilling?
Why were they drilling?
They don't specify.
Exactly. We don't know specifically what this company actually does.
Probably probably some kind of thing like that. I don't think that it has anything to do with oil. Right?
No.
It doesn't look like this is a rig.
I wouldn't think that. Yeah.
But this shady Chinese company doing all this stuff, hires a bunch of people from, like here's an easy way to look at it. Big corporate entity, i.e. the Dead Space thing, right, knows fully what's going on and use people that hope for something good to come out of seeking the darkness.
I see.
That's kind of the way, like that's the way a lot of this stuff works, right? You find somebody that needs, and then you prey on their needs, and then you make them give up themselves to the Eldritch gods.
Absolutely.
That's a very regular.
That's a common thread in these types of stories.
Man.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking that might be what's going on with Lucian here. Is that he's more intentionally doing this than the movie would lead you to believe.
Yeah. Yeah.
But again, this movie's really cool because it doesn't over-explain.
No, not at all.
It doesn't fucking try to force that
stuff. It shows
you
the most interesting part of these characters' lives, and then just barrels forward.
That's right.
Until there's just no reason to go forward anymore.
You don't need a lot more explanation than what it gives you.
No.
More explanation might potentially fuck it up.
I think absolutely. It would have destroyed any amount of subtlety this movie has.
It's kind of like the more you know about Cloverfield, the less good it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, that seems like a sound theory. That seems like some sound speculation.
Yeah, no,
I would
that's
agree
what I
with
took
that.
from it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I actually didn't notice the Cthulhu shit in the locker.
Oh,
until this time.
Until this last time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now that I saw that, I can't unsee it.
Yeah. Now that you know, it's just like when you, like I was telling you earlier today, I'm replaying Final Fantasy VII, and once you notice that the player sprites have big ass Popeye arms, you can never unsee it,
That's
and
right,
it's
man.
fucking hilarious.
Barrett most definitely eats his spinach.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Shoot, Eris eats her spinach.
Occasionally, olive oil would get all buff too. So that
Yeah,
works.
that's true.
That works.
I gotcha. But yeah, so the way this movie ends,
Oh, it's satisfying.
it's really satisfying.
Like, I don't know that I could think of another monster movie recently that has that satisfying of an ending.
Absolutely, yeah.
Most of them kind of fizzle at the end.
Most of them, once you see the monsters,
Yeah.
it's done. You there's no reason to move forward other than, hey, I guess this movie has to have an ending now because I mean it's a movie.
Yeah.
But
this one worked out really well.
This one's
man.
solid. Yeah.
The escape pods for the two remaining people.
So they find these escape pods.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
And they check to make sure, while they're checking to make sure that they're working, Nora finds one that is out of order. Okay, it can't be used. So only one person can fit in each of these pods. I mean, I guess they could have doubled up if they wanted.
I don't see why you couldn't have doubled up in there.
But
Yeah. Plot convenience.
Whatever. It's still a satisfying ending, and so she obviously she tries to send both of the other two people in the other pods, and of course Colleen Wing, I'm just going to keep calling her that now because that's what I know her from, and finds out that there aren't actually 3 pods, that there's only 2, and Nora's,
This fucking fly.
this fly, dude.
He keeps landing on my face.
But anyways, so Nora's trying to push her into the pod at this point, and obviously Colleen Wing is trying not to have any part of this.
And the boyfriend's already been sent out.
The boyfriend's already sent. He got fucked up pretty early on,
Yeah.
and he's barely hanging on. So
Like half the movie. He's
being dragged on the seafloor for half of this movie, like seemingly unconscious, or at least in and out of consciousness. Like, so he wasn't gonna fight too hard,
He was out.
Yeah, but she ends up having to punch Colleen Wing
Right in the face.
right in the face.
Which is funny to me because, like, I don't think that would have stopped me.
No.
Like, you punch me in the face, I would have been like, fuck you, I'll punch you back in the face and get out of the pod. Like, it's
Yeah.
not... But
Yeah,
she,
well, it's not even
she's
like she
gets
knocked
hit, she's
her
like,
out.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
she's like,
I
oh
gotcha.
no, I don't want to deal with this.
Please
Yeah.
don't hit me in the face again.
Exactly. That's
Like-
really what it was. It was just like like a sense of defeat. Yeah. So, anyways, Cthulhu monsters are following the
pods,
the pods, and Nora has this brilliant idea
From the anime dude.
that she's just gonna blow up the fucking station
Mm-hmm.
and all of these Dagon things along with it in order to save the pods.
Yeah, I love the way that they, because they give her this sense of accomplishment that you don't think she's going to get the whole movie. You feel like she's at the end of her rope. You feel like she's going to die in a fucking tube on the bottom of the ocean,
Yeah.
and Cthulhu wins.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the way it feels. And then all of a sudden she has this moment where she's like, wait, I got some nuclear cores.
Yeah.
He doesn't like
what
that
was
too
the
much.
line that she had that I think really encompasses like a lot of the themes in this movie? Is just like, sometimes you got to and obviously I don't remember it specifically, but it's like sometimes you just got to stop feeling
and do it
and just do.
Yeah.
And she's like, that line happens right before she sets off the self-destruct.
Yeah. I like the way that they make it look like Cthulhu's trying to get the fuck out of there too. Like,
absolutely.
It's like he's all of a sudden like, oh, I just heard some clicks. This sounds bad, and he starts like swimming. And with that, he can't get out of that blast radius though.
No, not at all.
No, and so the blast radius is big enough to take out him and all the little Dagonlings,
and not affect the pod.
Yeah. And that last second where you see Kristen Stewart's face as like the explosion is just reaching.
Yeah,
like that's a great.
It's beautiful,
one,
dude. This whole movie
has some amazing shots.
Was
dude.
shot phenomenally. Oh my god!
Every slowdown shot is beautiful.
Absolutely, this is one of the best looking films.
Yeah.
Period.
I'm probably gonna buy this one on
Absolutely.
4K Blu-ray. This is one of those that I want to own.
Yeah,
I'm a fan of this one.
So satisfying movie. Really
satisfying.
Really interesting backstory with it as well, because this was actually filmed in 2017, but it wasn't released until this year because this is a 20th Century Fox production. It was one of the last movies that they actually filmed, and it was pretty much because of the Disney buyout. It was kind of put on the back burner. And a little bit of trivia, guys. This is actually the last time that we will see the 20th Century Fox logo at the beginning of a movie. This is the last time, because they're obviously 20th Century Studios still exists as a subsidiary of Disney,
which would still be like Searchlight and like those things.
Stuff like that. Yeah,
okay.
And it mainly just like IP. Yeah. Whenever they put out an IP, they'll probably put it out under the 20th Century Studios label. But there's no Fox. There's no more Fox.
Crazy, man.
Yeah. So interesting stuff.
What will we do without the station that makes great shows and cancels them? What will we do?
I guess we'll all just have to go to Netflix. I mean,
we'll just get all the shovel from Netflix.
That's right.
What it is. Because Netflix says no to nothing.
That's right.
Do you have a camera? Fuck it.
Yeah. Do it. We don't care. You need money? Here you go.
Man.
So. Anyways, overall feelings, Phillip? Amazing.
Just amazing. I mean, I'm not saying that this is like, a fucking 10 out of 10 movie or anything, but for what it is,
it's beautiful. It's wonderful.
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
It leaves you feeling like
you go on a ride, dude. You do ultimately end up feeling like like you had a good time.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's some dips and valleys all throughout, man. It's this movie moves extremely well.
And it's got jump scares in the right spots.
Yeah.
It doesn't have too many of them.
They got me.
Yeah.
I jumped a couple of times. Like
they make some pretty haunting, chilling things going on. There's a lot of subtlety in the dialogue, especially with TJ Miller. I mean, the whole time he's fucking making Alice in Wonderland references.
Yeah.
Which might possibly be just because of the White Rabbit, but
yeah.
It's also because he's crazy.
Yeah, because he's also going mad.
Yeah, but this movie is about madness on the bottom of the seafloor, and it's fucking great. Like, really, if you like any kind of cosmic horror, if you like monster movies, holy shit,
dude. I mean, if you just like interesting science fiction,
it's there.
If you just like good movies, this is one of those. So go watch it. Shut up and Shut up and watch the movie.
Shut up and watch the movie.
Yeah, there you go. We haven't said that in a while.
We have.
So, anyways, Phillip, final thoughts.
Yeah, put your goddamn shoes on.
That is what we've learned from this movie.
Put your goddamn
shoes on. That's wonderful. Well, Phillip, I feel like I want to start a new segment here at the end. kind of recommend some kind of recommendation. Do you have anything that you are currently watching that you would like for other people to watch as well?
No. But I did download a movie that I'm gonna watch that looks real disturbing. So I'm gonna have a recommendation, and I'm sorry if it turns out poorly.
Yeah.
Possum.
Oh yeah, I've been hearing stuff about that. I hear that's really good.
Looks fucked up. Looks like the kind of thing I want to see. I'm gonna dig into it sometime pretty soon here.
Absolutely.
Maybe we'll do a podcast on it, but that's not looking anytime soon. It's gonna be a minute.
Yeah, I gotcha. Well, I'm gonna suggest the Queen's Gambit.
Oh, totally.
The new Netflix show. That was actually a lot of fun and like just really solid. Just a really solid show. One of the better original Netflix shows, honestly.
Cool. Yeah.
Really good, guys. Check those out.
And that has the girl from
The Witch.
From The Witch and Split and
all that. Yeah. And she's phenomenal in that role.
Yeah.
She's great. Distracting. Sometimes a little distracting, but you know.
Calm it down, Scott.
Yeah.
It's a Morena Baccarin again.
Pretty much, man. The synapses in my brain just can't handle it sometimes. Anyways. Well, guys, check us out on Anchor and Spotify and YouTube. Leave comments if you want to suggest a movie that we should watch. Go ahead and fucking do it.
Do it.
Like, share, and subscribe and all that good shit. And I guess that's the end of the show.
Bye.
Bye.